Hi, welcome to another edition of Bauer Business Bites. My name's David Tighe, the Managing Director of Bauer Media here in Northern Ireland. Well, this is our 12-month anniversary edition. Yes, exactly 1 year ago, we started Business Bites. And because it's our 12-month anniversary, we're bringing back our first ever guest on our 1 year birthday. And that's John Keane, the Chief Executive of Ardmore Advertising. John, welcome back.
Hiya, David. It's very hard to believe it's a year. And to be honest, in many ways, it actually feels longer.
Yep, it does in some ways. But you were our first guest, and it was great to have you on way back in April of last year. And if we cast our minds back, things were look, there we are there, and nothing much has changed really. We still look very young, don't we? Um, but if we cast our minds back, we were just going into what was, a fairly kind of cataclysmic moment in the world. And I think little did we think that it would be a year later when it looks like we're finally, fingers crossed, coming out the other end of it. So, John, what has struck you about the last 12 months in terms of business, your business, the world in general? You're a keen follower of events.
Well, David, I hope you'll notice that I dug out the same top and I've had the haircut done again just to make sure that the continuity experts could stitch this together. Yeah, I mean, when we spoke a year ago, I remember the themes that we covered. We talked about the need for kindness, with the need for brands to behave, to put their consumers first, for us to work through it together. But to be honest, at that stage, I think in the worst case scenario, we thought we were dealing with a matter of a few months. That turned out not to be the case. And it has been some year between COVID for Northern Ireland, the implications of Brexit, and the machinations around that have made it very difficult at a human level and for businesses here. There's been plenty of evidence of brands that did behave very well and that have done enormously well because of it. And then there have been some brands that have just simply not been able to do anything. Their hands have been tied either by health or government restrictions. And some of that's been very, very difficult to watch, particularly for the hospitality sector. But as you say, we're coming back. There's a pent up appetite. Retail has bounced back. I mean, the numbers don't make much sense, but if you look at the weekend past in retail terms, in Scotland, the bounce back was 74% increase in retail. In Northern Ireland, it was 46%. Now, that's off a terrible base, but it does tell you there's people out there wanting to come back out. Consumer confidence is back up again, and rising. It's slow, but it's rising. And it's probably more evident amongst the younger cadre and the 20 to 35-year-olds who never really particularly felt the threat of COVID, possibly. They did see the tragedy of it amongst their family members, etc., of course. But this is a wealthier society now, a year on. All the indicators, or financial press this morning talking about £140 billion of savings built up in a year in the UK. I can tell you that's not mine. That's a wife and 4 kids will do that for you. But and over 100 billion in the corporate world. So there is money there. People want to spend it. They want to spend it on travel. They want to spend it on entertainment. They want to spend it on experiences. The interesting thing is going to be to see how far they want to spend it and where that moves in terms of higher capital spends. The automotive industry, etc., will be tough. But I think all of us would know from our personal circumstances, everybody is dying to get out and see friends and to travel again.
Yeah, yeah, good points. Talking of the future, what trends do you think that emerged over the last 12 months are going to stick with business? Perhaps, your business or indeed any other businesses. I mean, there's been a number of developments. There's been a lot of innovation. There's been a complete bounce in certain areas, especially around, I suppose, online. Do you think any of these things are going to stick? And do you think they change the shape of business?
Definitely. I mean, we're very lucky here at Ardmore that we work across a number of categories. So we get great visibility across a lot of different areas, both in consumer and in business to business. But there was more development in e-commerce. And when we last spoke a year ago, if you remember, we had created an e-commerce package that we made available free to small retailers just because we wanted to try and do something. The uptake in that was enormous. And we also did it for our own clients. Most of our clients now have some form of digital offering, whether it's retail or business to business e-commerce. We saw about 3 years of development in about 6 months, and that's not going to change. So we would all know we're all smarter on our e-banking. We're all smarter at paying for things touch and go on our phones. I'm sure, without wishing to plug Amazon more, there's not a person listening to this who doesn't have vans arriving at their house on a near daily basis. And well, certainly that seems to be the case in our house. So yeah, the e-commerce piece has accelerated massively. But interestingly, around that, so too has consumers' discontent with the manner in which their data is being held by the major players like Facebook and Google. So one of the massive changes that we face going forward from here, which is good news for Cool FM and good news for what we would class as the more analog or traditional media outlets, is that the dissolution of cookies means that you can't just have loads of money and buy an audience and keep mining that audience. Those days are gone. And I don't think everybody's woken up to that yet. So the importance of having a brand and being known so that people can find you, as opposed to you buying the opportunity to sell to them, is going to be a massive change that a lot of people have to waken up to. But in terms of going forward, e-commerce is here to stay, but so's the high street, so is retail, but it needs to be built on great consumer experiences. So Belfast City Council are working really hard at the moment with a number of private sector investors at how do they make the city more attractive. There'll be a greening of cities. It'll be easier to get in and out of the cities. The public transport role will be enhanced. The steps forward, the investment that the likes of Translink here continue to make. We work for Network Rail nationally, and it's just incredible what's being done to make it easier, safe for people to get in and out of cities. But it'll all be about the experiences. So we've seen lots of innovators in that space. One of our clients, Cargo, would be a classic example of a business that pivoted, created a massive outdoor entertainment space. You're going to see more of that, and that's been superb.
And finally, Northern Ireland. Where does Northern Ireland sit in the wider context? You have a lot to do with businesses right across Europe and beyond.
Well,
how's Northern Ireland doing?
Well, here's the. We could be Singapore. We could be. Dangerous what you say. You could be Norway, but we have a fantastic reputation with great food producers. The Dale Farms of this world, fantastic food producers that are trusted. And with Brexit, there should be supply chains that we can fill. But when our news agenda is filled with trouble and people are seen to riot, I was in a conference with people from Denmark, Sweden, China, 3 from the States and 1 from Edinburgh last week, and all of them opened up asking if we were all safe. Now that's just no good for commercial life in Northern Ireland. So we need to grasp that opportunity. We create great product. We have a great tourism product, and the stay-at-home market is going to go crazy for us here. And we're very, very fortunate that with an excellent housing standard, people can enjoy a really good lifestyle. And I see that more. I don't know whether you'll have seen it yourself, but people like going swimming at all times of the year, out walking, out running, out enjoying the beautiful environment that we live in. We really are very lucky with how beautiful Northern Ireland is.
Well, long may it continue. And I hope that in 12 months' time, we'll be having the second anniversary conversation. But as always, John, your insights are great, and we do appreciate your time. And best of luck to you and all at Ardmore. Continued success.
Well, David, thank you for that. And again, thank you for Cool FM's part and for your part in allowing these conversations to be brought forward in the community. It's so important that we share as much knowledge and as much support as we can. So thank you.